Ho!
Ahoy!
Welcome to the 10th episode of Season 3. We've made double figures.
Amazing.
I know. All in lockdown as well. All 10 of them.
I know. Didn't expect that.
No, really didn't. It could be potentially over half the season, will be. Maybe even more than that.
Yeah, we should open a sweepstakes.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Which episode will we be reunited on?
Yeah. How far through will we make it through Season 3?
In lockdown?
Yeah, what do you reckon?
I don't know. 15?
Ooh. I like your optimism.
Is that a bit too... I don't know. Maybe not even the whole season.
I'm going with 20.
Ooh. Another 10. No, we're only halfway through.
Yeah.
That's depressing. Let us know what you guys think. Tweet us. And if you want to tweet us, you can do that at BOTS_podcast. Or you could Instagram us at the same, BOTS_podcast. Facebook.com/bottom of the stream. Or the website is bottomofthestream.com, where you will find every episode we've ever done and all 3 season stream tables. Or you can join us on Patreon, where we will give you some free stuff, some extra bonus episodes, some early access to episodes, some merch. All for a very small amount of money from you guys every month.
Yep, if you can't do that, then leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, because that really helps get more ears and eyes on our little show. And that's about it. I'm Nick.
Yeah, I'm Adam. This is the bottom of the stream.
Yeah, we're on a quest to find some diamonds buried at the bottom of the Netflix stream.
Yeah, definitely. We've had a bit of a mediocre season this season, I would say, so far. Nothing great, nothing too bad.
Not the shiniest of gems, it has to be said.
Definitely not. It's,
but every week there's new hope.
You never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. Have you got any more reflections on the anthology movie that we watched last week, Holidays?
I put a tweet out midweek. I don't know if you'd seen it, with like loads of images from the film, just so people could get an idea if they hadn't seen it.
Yeah, you just freaked a load of people out.
I did, and it brought back a load of memories that I'd already repressed, I think. That scene with the arm coming out of the lady when she's giving birth was harrowing.
It's still the Jesus Easter Bunny for me.
Yeah, creepy, horrible thing. No, but I think that film ended up where it deserved to be on the stream table. Like we said last week, it was half a good film.
Yeah, that's maybe being kind.
Yeah.
It was fun to talk about, though.
Yeah, it was. It was a really fun episode, I thought. Didn't go as long as I was expecting with doing 8 films in one, but yeah, it was good. It was fun to talk about. If you've not heard it, go and check out last week's episode. Talking of our older episodes,
yes,
I'm getting good at this, seamlessly linking into stuff. Netflix this week have relaunched some of our films that we've done in the past.
What? About time.
So there's 3 films that have been that since we reviewed them have been taken from Netflix, and this week all 3 of them have got put back on again, which is weird.
What have we got? Makes a change from stuff being taken off.
It does, yeah. Bottom of the World came back, which was from season 1.
Oh, that was the kind of like trippy, peyote dream desert movie, wasn't it?
And that's the one, yeah. You didn't know what was a dream and what was real. That was a strange one. They finished 12th in the stream table in season 1, so very, very mid-table. Another film from season 1 that came back was The Cured.
Oh. Yeah.
Irish zombie film. Absolute hot garbage.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't good. That was not good.
No, it was really boring. It finished 17th in the season 1 stream table, that one. But also that came back, that we've done quite recently, was The Endless.
Oh, that's not been gone for very long.
No, it was only gone for just over a month.
That's strange.
Yeah, very strange. It finished 4th in season 2.
I wonder what was in the contract that caused that to.
I don't know. It's strange, isn't it?
For a month.
I don't know if they just archive stuff for a bit and then put them back on again.
I don't know. Possibly.
It seems strange to take things down and put things up, and the way it works just seems a bit weird. I'd like to know more about how they decide.
Yeah, if anyone from Netflix is listening, get in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be really interested to know why something goes away for a month and then pops back.
Yeah.
That does seem odd. Well worth checking out, though, that movie, The Endless.
Yeah, the directors did a watch-along on Instagram over the weekend with it. And okay. I was gonna do it with them, and then I completely forgot. I read about it on one day over the weekend, and it was the next day. I was like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow. That could be quite fun. And just didn't even think about it again, ever. And it's just completely gone out of my mind.
Got to write things down, man.
I know, yeah. I need to make a diary. I wasn't even doing anything important. I was just sitting in my house as I have done for the last 10 weeks. I haven't got a lot of Netflix news this week. It's been a quiet week.
It has been quieter compared to the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks have been bumper, but this week I've only got one piece.
Shows your piece.
Always. And that is Dark. Have you seen Dark? Have you heard of Dark?
I don't really know anything of it. I have seen some promotional material that it is coming back, but I have no knowledge of it.
So it's coming back for season 3 on June the 27th, so not too long. It's going to be their final season as well. I've never seen it either. It is on my list. I'm going to go to it pretty soon, I think. I'm getting right close to it. It's basically, it says on the IMDb that it's a family saga with a supernatural twist set in a German town where the disappearance of 2 young children exposes a relationship among 4 families. It gets absolutely rated. It's 8.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's
for a TV show, that is huge. So yeah, it's going to be a 3rd and final season streaming on June the 27th on Netflix, and I'm going to try and get to it. I've nearly finished. I've been watching Upload on Amazon Prime. Have you heard of this?
No. Hi. What's that?
I know I shouldn't mention Amazon Prime, but there's a reason why I have mentioned it. It stars Robbie Amell.
Oh, okay.
Who is one of very few people who have been in 3 films over the course of Bottom of the Stream. So he's a celebrity.
I'm familiar with his work.
Yeah, you are very familiar with his work. You've seen at least 3 of his films. He's the main star in it. It's basically Amazon's version of The Good Place.
Okay.
So when you die, your consciousness gets uploaded into like a virtual reality universe, and you just basically live forever in this. He lives in like this oldie worldy hotel type thing with loads of other dead people, but there's like people who can control him on the outside. So he's got this angel that looks after him, who's a real living person, and she can, like, if he wants to change his hair, she has to redesign it, and that's so it's like an avatar that she's in control of.
She's like Janet.
Yeah, basically. Because he can call her. He just has to say angel and she just appears.
Is it funny? Is it comedy?
It is comedy. It is quite funny. It's made me laugh out loud a few times. There's a little kid in it who is hilarious.
Okay.
Because he died when he was 11, but now in the real world he would have been 18.
Right. So
he's got this 18-year-old's personality inside this 11-year-old's body.
I quite like that. That's quite a cool gimmick.
It's cool. It is cool. They're only half-an-hour episodes as well, so it's definitely worth checking out if you've got Amazon Prime. Awesome. I won't talk about it too much because it's on the dark side, but it's got Robbie Amell in it, so I thought I'd let it go.
It's a tenuous link, but I will allow it.
The only other thing I've really watched this week is I watched the first 2 episodes of Snowpiercer.
Oh, right, yeah.
So the Netflix have remade this film from quite a while back now, a few years ago.
Yeah, well, Netflix are distributing it and showing it in the UK. It's not a Netflix thing, is it?
No.
I think it might be TNT in the States.
I think you're right. I think it might be. It's coming out weekly, so that proves that it's not a Netflix thing because they don't do that. But the first 2 episodes appeared on the same day earlier this week. The 3rd one will be out by the time this episode comes out. Yeah, it's quite good. I quite enjoyed it. I have seen the film, as you know, because I think we watched it together.
Yeah, I think we did.
But it's been a very, very long time since I've seen it. So I can't really remember the story, but it's good. The show's quite good so far. The first 2 episodes were interesting. I'll definitely stick with it. Great.
Yeah, it's on my list to watch, certainly. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Wicked.
I have been watching something that I think is originally a sci-fi channel show, and meant to watch it a couple of years ago when it first came out. I've only just got around to it. It's on Netflix. It's a show called Happy.
Oh yeah.
Which is essentially a cop show, starring Christopher Maloney, who was most famous for like.
Wasn't he in the X Factor?
One of the. I don't know. I've no idea. Your joke's lost on me. Sorry.
Sorry, somebody will get it.
He was in Law and Order for years and years and years. And he plays a drunk cop, and he's looking for his daughter who has been kidnapped. And he is aided by his daughter's imaginary friend, who is a blue flying unicorn.
Wow.
Cartoon unicorn. It's really good. It's brutal.
Really, I've seen a couple of episodes, but then I never went back to it, and I've always meant to, but never have.
It is leg-breakingly, heart-rippingly, gory and brutal.
Wow.
Clear. It's written by a load of comic book writers, and you can really see that in it.
Yeah.
But we finished the first series, so it's only like 6 or 8 episodes, something like that.
Worth checking out.
Yeah.
Worth me going back to.
I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought so.
Good. I will definitely go back to it at some point then.
And then the only other thing is just we've been carrying on with Schitt's Creek, which we just absolutely blazed through that. Now we've got into it. So
Where are you now on it?
last series.
Oh, really? You have blazed through it. You're only on season 3 last week.
Yeah.
Wow.
I about 3 or 4 in, I think.
I love that last series. It's so good.
It's really well written.
It's really well written.
They're just great. The character relationships and the little in jokes after. Now you're this far in, it's just really good, nice to watch. It's really funny.
There's no bad point. There's no bad side to it. There's never any like depressing stories in it or sad stories in it. It's just good all the way through.
Yeah,
it's very wholesome.
Highly recommended.
Me too. I couldn't recommend it more. I'm going to quickly run down the Netflix top 10 currently. We've not done that
for a few weeks. Let's
Shall we do that?
Let's have a look. Yeah.
I just had a horrible thought that I wasn't recording then, but I am, so it's all good. In at number 10, there's quite a few new things in here and stuff I've not really heard of, so it could be an interesting way to find out what's going on in a minute. Number 10 is a show called Selling Sunset.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of that?
No. Sounds like a reality thing.
It is a reality thing. It's just started season 2 by the looks of it. That's why it's gone into the charts. It's about estate agents in LA selling luxurious lives to affluent buyers.
Oh, great.
So it's basically, it looks like location in LA.
Right.
But I think it's a little bit also like Made in Chelsea. The people are like, it appears to be, I obviously don't know, people can correct me if I'm wrong, but it appears to be like half acted.
Staged reality.
That's the word I was looking for. So yeah, that's in at number 10 at the minute. Number 9 is Sweet Magnolias. Ever heard of that?
Now, is it a sequel to Steel Magnolias? I don't know.
It's also a TV show. This is its first season, so it's brand new. Lifelong friends Maddie, Helen and Dana Sue lift each other up as they juggle relationships, family and careers in this small southern town of Serenity. No.
Not sure that's on my radar, to be honest.
It's 10 episodes. It's only just started, so never heard of it. Dead to Me's in at number 8. That's also just launched its season 2. That's on my list as well. Season 1 of Dead to Me is really good.
Yeah, I've watched season 2.
Have you?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, I think we've had this conversation a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Number 7 is History 101.
Sounds educational.
It's one season again. Infographics and archival footage deliver bite-sized history lessons on scientific breakthroughs, social movements, and world-changing discoveries.
Okay.
They're only 20-minute episodes. First episode's on fast food. That could be quite interesting. Second episode's
sounds
on
like pop-up facts type.
Yeah,
thing.
It looks like it. Yeah, it could be worth checking out. It looks all right. Number 6 is Snowpiercer. We've already talked about that. Number 5 is Dynasty.
Yeah, I didn't even know that had been remade.
Not me. It's the 3rd season. Come on. No, I had no idea either.
They still have massive shoulder pads.
Looks
Was
like
set
it,
in the 80s? I don't know.
I don't know. The Carringtons and the Colbys feud for control over their fortune and their children in this updated reboot of the classic primetime soap. No, it looks modern. Looking at some of these pictures, I think it's set in the modern day. I will not be checking that out.
No.
Number 4 is the first film on this list. It is Justice League.
Okay, yeah, I saw that had been added.
Quite in the news recently as well, isn't it? So that's probably why people are watching it, because it's fucking garbage.
Well, it's been in the news. You sort of hinted it there because HBO have launched their streaming service.
Yeah.
HBO Max.
Yes.
And they have hinted that there will be a new cut of Justice League coming.
Yeah.
Directed by Zack Snyder, because he never got to finish the movie.
Yeah.
I don't really get it, because everyone's been clamouring for this cut of this movie. Yet everyone gave Snyder so much shit, like for Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, but I don't get it either. It's going to be a 3-hour cut of a terrible movie by a mediocre director. I just don't understand the obsession with it.
He got a lot of crap for Watchmen back in the day as well.
Because it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I just don't get the clamour for it. But there you go.
He still made most of that film. He's still responsible for for the most of that film being shit. So even if it's an extra hour longer, it doesn't make it any less shit. I'm sure I'm going to catch some stick for that, but I'm not going to watch it. I'm not wasting any more time on it. I hated that film so much. Number 3 is The Last Dance. holding its place up there.
Yeah. Well, the last new episodes were over a week ago, so that's people are obviously still enjoying the adventures of Michael Jordan and co.
Yeah, I've not got to it yet. It'll probably be about a year before I do. The amount of stuff I've got backed up is ridiculous. Number 2, Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich, is a documentary series.
As a cheerful subject matter.
4 episodes, an hour each, 54 hours of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I'm not sure I need that in my life, to be honest.
No, I don't think I'll be watching it. Stories from survivors fill this docuseries examining how convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein used his wealth and power to carry out his abuse. A lot of people obviously are watching it. It's number 2 in the charts.
How much of it is Prince Andrew in? So I can't say that. I'm not supposed to say that, am I?
0.
Allegedly.
Don't know. Allegedly. Would you want to have a guess at what could be at number 1?
I think I might know.
Okay.
From browsing around, is it White Lines?
It is White Lines. Apparently, I've heard it's really, really good. So I've not seen that yet either. That's on my list as well.
So this is a UK-made drama, isn't it? But set in Ibiza.
Correct.
I believe.
Zoe Walker leaves her quiet life behind to investigate her brother's disappearance in Ibiza, where she quickly heads down a decadent and dangerous path. Is it about drugs?
I'm sure they will be involved.
Hence the White Lines. Is that where that comes from?
Well, also, yeah, it's the whole club scene, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I will get to that as well. It's another thing that would go on my list. My list is getting huge. I have this list, and then if I fancy something, it just jumps it and goes to the top. So then nothing ever... Like Upload. I saw the trailer for that. I was like, oh, I'm going to watch that. And then it just jumped my whole list and went to the top. So it's just what happens. That's it. That's the top 10 from Netflix as of today, time of recording. Anything else?
Not news-wise or what I have watched-wise. I do have a game for us to play before we get into our movie for the week.
We haven't played a game for ages.
No, not for a little while. I say we can play it. I need to remember where I've written my notes down. And I'm not sure if you'll be pleased to hear this or not, but this is round 2 of a game we've played before.
Oh, exciting.
So we are returning to the world of superheroes.
Oh, the last time we did that was really good. Was that where we met Stapled to a Dog Man or whatever it was called?
It's Dog Welder.
Welder, that's him.
So we are going for round 2 of... I can't exactly remember what I called it. I think I called it Superhero or Super Zero.
Yeah, I think you did. That sounds right.
But let's go with that.
Okay.
Are you ready to play?
Yes. So I've just got to guess whether it's a superhero, a real superhero, or a Super Zero is not real.
Correct.
Cool.
Correct. So yeah, here we go. Superhero or Super Zero. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
What's your name, sir?
My name's Adam.
Right. Good.
It's the bottom of the stream.
I'm going to give you 5 superheroes.
Cool.
And you just tell me, are they real or not?
Cool. Got it.
So let's start with Dr. Slippery. So Dr. Slippery can slide around on a self-generated trail of slime and can flick his
like
bodily fluid at people.
He sounds horrible. No. Super Zero.
Correct. I made him up.
I'll just have to try and get in your mind for these games. If I can get in there, if I bury myself in there somewhere, I'm all right.
Good start.
I feel like you've seen a slug earlier today, and that's what I'll give you that.
I don't like slugs.
I don't like slugs.
Wait, is this weird then? Because I'm absolutely fine with snails.
But don't
like,
really?
I think, yeah, well, I'm quite happily move a snail around, pick it up.
Yeah, you can pick a snail up by the hard bit, though, can't you?
Yeah, that's true. Slugs, no. Especially when they're like weird colours. Like, you know when they've got like an orange tinge?
Yeah, they sometimes have greeny skin as well, don't they?
Yeah.
I went for a stage of finding them in my lounge. It was grim. It's like, get out of
that happened in an old house that we had, yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, just get in. Oh, no, horrible.
Is a slug just a homeless snail?
That's a great question.
Are they exactly the same, except a snail has a shell?
Yeah, we need Bill Oddie or someone to tell us the answer.
We need a slug expert. If there's any slug experts out there, let us know.
Yeah. We've digressed. How many have we done? One. Right. Okay.
And I got it right.
Okay, so number 2 is Leather Boy.
Leather Boy?
Yeah.
Sounds like my weekends.
Yeah. So Leather Boy has no superpowers. He just accidentally joined the Avengers one week.
Yeah, that's got to be real.
It is real.
Superhero. Is that true? He just accidentally joined in Avengers?
Yeah, so he answered a personal ad, as they're called in the States. He thought he was replying to an S&M ad, and he accidentally joined the Avengers.
Brilliant. Imagine if that happens in the films. I'd love that.
So he's just got the proper full-on village people look.
So just leather... Yeah, I can imagine.
Chaps.
He's a leather chap.
Yeah.
That should have been his name. Leather boy, leather chap.
Very good.
2 for 2.
2-0. Well, you're doing well. Okay, so the third one is Danny the Street.
Danny the Street.
This is a magic teleporting street.
What?
It's a magic teleporting street. Am I not speaking English?
No, the words are English. So it's the whole street.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've not made that up. Superhero.
Correct.
You're not weird enough to make that up. I'm sorry if that's an insult. I apologise.
Danny the Street is a DC superhero.
Of course it is.
And it's just a street that can pop around the world.
Why?
And you can use it to walk down. And like it can change the sort of shops that are on the street.
I suppose it's handy if you're like stuck in quicksand or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Or need to get through a jungle quickly or something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Danny the Street. I like it. I'm going to try and find a picture. I'll put it out on Instagram.
Okay.
3 for 3. I'm getting nervous at this point.
Let's play for pride.
But I've never got 5, so that's what I always compete for myself to try and get 5.
Try and get the full house. The next one is the Red Bee.
The Red Bee?
Yeah. So, the Red Bee also has no superpowers.
Right.
But is basically just a really cool beekeeper and controls a swarm of bees to help him fight crime.
Wow.
His favourite bee is called Michael, and Michael lives inside the Red Bee's belt buckle. And that's like his best little mate who he talks to. And
oh, no, I don't have a clue now.
Does superhero plans with little Mikey B.
Super Zero.
Incorrect.
Ah! Damn it.
He is a superhero.
It's got to be DZ.
I've not actually written down which one he's from. I think he might be.
Oh.
Yeah, it is, because at the start I was reading about him. I thought, oh, this is just their version of Ant-Man. But it's not, because he's got no superpowers. So
that is weird. Worse. Is the thing about being called Michael real?
Yeah. His favourite bee's called Michael, and he lives in his belt buckle.
Michael the Bee, I like that. I should have known you were. I should have known that was real. I'm disappointed in myself.
The last one is Giraffe Woman.
Oh, I hope so.
She is a superheroine who can grow to the size of a giraffe, and she uses her super-sized tongue as a weapon. So she'll like whip you upside the head with a giraffe tongue, and she can also use it for things like picking locks, breaking into places. Giraffe Woman.
No, Super Zero.
Correct.
Yes. 4 out of 5 again. I'm going to do it one week. Oh, wow. So you made that up?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I thought it was quite a good one.
It's quite a good one.
I think you could run with that.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll get, what was the slug one? We'll get him and Giraffe
Dr.
Woman.
Slippery.
Dr. Slippery and Giraffe Woman. We'll make a comic book out of them.
Dr. Slippery and Giraffe Woman.
Which one's the bad guy? Or they're both good guys?
I'm not sure.
Giraffe Woman seems like she'd have to be a good guy. Yeah,
I'm not sure Dr. Slippery is appropriate for kids, but reading it back.
Doctor's always a bad guy in the comic books.
Yeah, that's true.
So he can be the arch nemesis of Giraffe Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, giraffes and slippery guys. Well known for hating each other.
If only we knew a good comic book writer. Or a designer. Hint, hint.
No comment. Just put that idea out there, see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens.
Good, well done.
Thank you.
4-1.
I win more than I lose, but I've never got 5, and I really do want to do it one week. We're gonna have a party when I do.
It's good to have something to aim for, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose when I get 5, that would have to be the end of it.
Yeah, no more games.
No more games. I mean, nobody wants that. Everybody loves the games. All right, should we talk about this film?
Let's do it.
Okay, this week we watched a film called Fast Colour. It's from 2018. It is a PG-13 because it is not rated in the UK. It is 1 hour and 40 minutes long and currently rated at 6.0 on IMDb. Another sixer. We have loads of sixes this season.
Yeah, we've had quite a few that are in this range.
Yeah, just lately. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It hasn't been planned to be that way. Maybe that's why we're having a mediocre season, because all the films are just 6. They're all the same.
Yeah, but that's quite high relatively.
It is, yeah, compared to what we used to do. Definitely.
As a relative score on IMDb, the 6 is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. We're having completely differing results with them as well.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but I'd quite like to do something lower.
Yeah, I'm
higher.
I'm quite intrigued. I'm not sure where you're going to go with this. I'm quite intrigued to see what you think. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this chat.
Yeah, me too. Stars a lady called, I'm going to completely butcher this name, Gugu Mbatha Raw.
Yep.
I'm going with that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
She plays Ruth. She's been in quite a lot of stuff that you'll know. She's in the Cloverfield Paradox.
Yep.
Have you seen that?
I have, yeah.
I love that film. I love all 3 of those Cloverfield films. I don't care what anybody says. She's in one episode of Black Mirror, which is apt because we've talked about Black Mirror quite a lot just lately, especially last week. She's a voice in the Dark Crystal TV show that's on Netflix.
I've still not seen that.
More recently, she was in Motherless Brooklyn, which came out towards the end of last year, I think. It was Ed Norton's directorial debut.
Yeah.
And she's going to be in the Loki TV show.
Oh, right.
For Disney Plus. So she's going to. IMDb hasn't got a character name yet, so I don't know who she's going to be in it. But that's coming next year. It was supposed to be coming this year, I think, but I think all that sort of stuff's been postponed. Yeah, so she's been in quite a few things. Also stars. I've written his name. I've not written his bloody name down. A guy called Christopher Denham. Heard of him?
Who was he in this?
He was Bill.
I thought you would say Bill. I did kind of recognise him, but no, the name doesn't ring a bell.
He was in Shutter Island.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Did you watch Shutter Island with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's one of the best books I've ever read and one of the worst films I've ever seen.
It's not a great film.
No, I'd really like it.
The book is a much better experience.
Much, much better. More recently, though, he's been in Billions. Do you know that TV show?
Yeah, that's yeah.
He's in that. Quite a few other bits and bobs on TV. That sort of thing. That sort of thing. That Billions kind of genre he seems to go for.
The other person who stuck out in the cast of this movie for me was Lorraine Toussaint.
She was my next one, so yeah, go for it.
So she plays Bo in this.
She does.
I recognised her from another Netflix favourite, Orange is the New Black.
Correct. She played Yvonne or Von.
She was like the main bad guy in, I think it was series 2.
Season 2. Yeah, she was the worst character in the worst season of Orange is the New Black. I really didn't like. I love Orange is the New Black. It's a great show, but season 2 is its downfall. It is awful, and after that, it ramps right up again. But season 2 is terrible, and it was this lady's fault. I'm just gonna put it out there. She does die quite well in the end of season 2. Yeah. Orange is the New Black. Spoiler there. Written and directed by a lady called Julia Hart, who has not really got any credits worth mentioning, to be honest. So I'm not going to.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, she's not really done a lot before that's worth mentioning. Do you have a one-word review of Fast Colour?
Weather.
It's all about the weather, this one.
Yeah, blame it on the weatherman. I'll give you a factoid.
Go for it.
Amazon Prime's getting mentioned quite a bit.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. So this is now under development as a TV series.
Oh, really?
With Amazon.
That's interesting.
With the director Julia Hart, at least writing the start of this show. So yeah, we'll see if that it's in development. No cast or anything announced, but
I wonder how they're going to do it. I wonder if it'll be like
we'll see.
A sequel or a retelling of the same story.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Is this going to be the origin tale? Possibly. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Or maybe they remake the film as season 1 and then go from there, because there's plenty of places you could go with these characters.
Sure, and I can see this set up making a a decent episodic
Yeah, completely.
show. There's enough material there to explore.
Yep,
Certainly.
definitely. So where does the film start?
We've got a voiceover.
Yes, a nice VO to start with.
Yeah. And then we meet Ruth.
Yeah, so basically
She's running through the desert.
she is. Yeah, basically the
The
voiceover
is asking, "Where is Ruth?"
Yeah, is it
Basically,
is it Bo doing the voiceover?
it is. Yeah. So she's reading. Well, I think she's reading from her book.
Yeah,
That we see later on. So she's reading one of her diary entries, basically.
Yeah. Basically, what the main points that you know from this, that she starts off with saying the world's going to die, and then she also mentions that it's 8 years since it last rained in the world.
So they're in Midwest America.
Yeah.
Time frame wise, it doesn't really specify, does it?
No. Modern.
I've just kind of gone with its present day. It's kind of an alternate present.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's been no rain for 8 years, hence the price of water is through the roof.
Yeah, water's like gold dust. The whole place, everywhere's just dead. The world, there's no, all the grass and the trees and everything is dead. So basically, these people are just trying to survive with the little amount of water that they've got, I guess. That she's set up.
Sure. Yeah.
And like you say, we meet Ruth as she's running through this building. Where was she going? She was just escaping from somebody, wasn't she?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she was.
Where was she going?
There was sort of sirens going past,
Yeah.
wasn't she? And she sort of emerged from a warehouse type.
Yeah, it was like an old
in
rundown
a city
warehouse.
type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut straight from that into the title card, and when we come out of the title card, she's found a way to a motel. She's escaped from whoever was chasing her, and she goes to this like rundown old motel.
Yeah.
Where she checks in for one night, and she buys a half gallon of water, I guess.
Sure.
Because when she gets to the room, we find that her hands are tied up in rope.
It's like $26 or something for the half bottle of water.
One of these like water cooler bottles, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Her hands are all tied up when she gets to the room. So she manages to cut the ropes off and cleans herself up with the water. She took quite a lot of the water away, I thought.
Yeah, she wasn't
Considering it's like
too efficient with the amount, because she does this a couple of times in the movie.
Yeah.
She was not efficient with the amount of water she was using.
Obviously the ropes
considering how expensive it was.
Yeah, the ropes have caused her wrists to bleed and chafe, and that's what she was cleaning up. And then she gets this map, doesn't she? Because she's trying to find her way somewhere. We find out at this point. And she's got this map, and she's kind of perusing it to find the best route, I guess.
Yeah, I think she's trying to work out where she is.
Yeah.
Because she's obviously just escaped from some sort of captivity.
Yeah.
And she's clearly got it in her mind to head somewhere in particular.
But while she's checking this map, she starts shaking, convulsing uncontrollably. And she can obviously feel something coming on because she grabs the telephone and she rings the receptionist. Because when we met the receptionist, she was there with her young daughter.
She was, yeah.
So she warns the receptionist to take cover and to take her daughter and hide. Because something's about to happen. And then she really starts convulsing. And the whole room starts shaking. It turns out the whole earth starts shaking from whatever's going on.
Yeah, so she has a full-on seizure.
Yeah, basically.
And it causes an earthquake.
Yeah.
Or an earthquake happens alongside her having a seizure.
Yeah. The cops all show up and check the room because obviously they know something's gone on. But they find the room abandoned because she's cleared off through the bathroom window. She's obviously quite scared of whoever's chasing her.
Yeah.
She manages to steal a car a bit further down the street. And she heads to this like coffee diner kind of.
Yeah, it's a roadside diner.
Roadside diner, yeah. And this is where she meets Bill.
Yeah, Bill buys her a coffee.
He does, yeah. He seems like a nice guy.
He sort of gives her this. You kind of know straight away he's feeding her a line, isn't he?
Yeah.
Saying that he's a salesman. You know, he spent a lot of time on the road.
Yeah.
And yeah, he buys her a coffee because
Yeah.
all Ruth has managed to afford is one egg
Yeah.
on her plate.
Yeah, not the nicest breakfast you can imagine, is it? Bill leaves. She goes to leave as well after a short amount of time. But when she goes outside, there's a cop there checking out the car that she's borrowed or stolen.
Yeah.
Borrowed. Not if she had any intention of giving it back.
You always see the best in people.
I do, don't I? I'm such a nice guy. So Bill saves her from that as well because he kind of shouts over, honey, I'm over here. And she gets in the car with him as if they knew each other. He explains that he's got this boring life, his boring wife. He wants to do something good and humane in the world, I guess. And he figured that saving her was probably the thing that can help his life get some meaning. But then the conversation takes a bit of a turn, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I thought it was a good reveal, actually.
Yeah, I agree. I did as well.
He slowly, didn't he, start sort of revealing, actually, I'm a scientist.
Yeah.
You know, I know who you are, Ruth.
Yeah.
And it was delivered quite creepily
Yeah.
and suspensefully.
Definitely. When he just said her name and her eyes just bulged out.
Yeah.
Because she'd fallen for this. She's quite protective, obviously, and she's fallen for this trap, which she doesn't do. He reveals he works for the government and that he wants to do some tests to find out. Because he mentions about this earthquake in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he wants to do some tests to find out what happened. He says he wants to help her stop hurting people. And then she shoots him in the hand.
Yeah.
Which I imagine
hurts,
so
they
hurts
pull
quite a
over,
lot.
don't they?
Yeah.
They have a bit of a struggle. Has she got the gun, or does she take it off him?
She gets as she grabs the gun off him, it goes off in his hand, I think.
Yeah. And it sort of shoots a hole in his palm.
Yeah.
And
no little baby chicks came out of it.
No, not this week. And she runs into the desert.
She manages to get out the car window, which is shattered, and escapes off into the desert. And she heads to this shop, like a gas station, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she buys some water, cleans herself up in the bathroom again. Cut to some cops, and they find Bill's car, which is now abandoned on the side of the road where it had been parked. He's not there either. Cut back to the shop, and Bill walks into the shop. So some time has passed. I think Ruth has already gone at this point.
Yeah, but he's in her footsteps.
Yeah, he's not far behind her. He asks the shop assistant if he's seen her.
He's bleeding all over the floor.
Yeah, his face is cut up, his blood pouring out of his hand, obviously. So we go back to Ruth. She's in a bar now, and she's after some food, but she hasn't got any money. So she offers to clean up, like work in the kitchens or work behind the bar.
Yeah.
And she does. The lady accepts that, and the bar lady gives her some food and some water.
She looks her out a bit, doesn't she, Ruth? Because she says to the lady, "Are you on your own?" You know,
Yeah.
And it's a busy bar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of the only bar in town, sort of thing. Yeah. So she gladly accepts the offer.
Yeah, she stays for the rest of the evening, and she's the last one in there cleaning up at the end of the night. The lady comes out with a rucksack and gives her some food and some water in this bag, and she points her in the direction of an abandoned hotel.
Yeah.
It's like,
so it's she's the lady behind the bar says to Ruth, "You can stay there. Just the owners have left it.
Yeah.
Make sure you find a room with a door."
yeah, make sure you find one with a door. So she does. She stays there for the night. Pretty uneventful. We rejoin her the next morning, and she's outside this house.
Yeah. So this house has been in a couple of sort of visions she's had.
Yeah.
And it's just a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, rural America somewhere. We head inside. She stays outside, and this is where we meet Bo and Lila.
Yeah.
Who are I don't want to say older lady, but a middle-aged lady.
Yeah, sure.
And
You can say that.
And a young child.
Yeah.
And they're clearly rationing their water because Lila wanted a bath, which seems a bit obsessive. She's managed to fix.
I thought it was well done though, because it was kind of like you got the feeling straight away that this is like an ongoing joke. So like every day she's asking, "Can I have a bath?"
Yeah, and
and this is them.
And obviously she can't.
Yeah,
that's the joke that they're having. I thought at this point I was sitting there thinking this film's actually, it looks really good. It's quite a well-made film. Do you know what I mean? There's like the way it's been shot is really nice. How everything looks dead. It felt like a proper film, and I know we say that a lot, but
I know what you mean. And
you can see a budget in this film, I think, is what I'm trying to say.
Sure. It's. I think we've said this a couple of times before. The care came through the screen for me. It did anyway.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
It wasn't something that was just sloppily thrown together.
No.
Like we've seen almost half finished stuff.
Yeah. A lot of
some weeks.
Stuff, yeah. It's a good script told by good actors by a good director. I think that's how I'd describe it so far.
And this is not a fast moving.
No, not at all.
Movie, which is ironic considering the name of it. But that's not a criticism.
No,
because
it felt like it was telling a proper story, didn't it?
Yeah, it is quite languid at times, but that's fine. It works with it.
Yeah,
and the interplay between these three characters when they meet up is really good.
Yeah, the chemistry is awesome between the three of them.
I was really intrigued at this stage to see where this was going.
Yeah, me too. It comes out in the conversation that Lila's managed to fix her record player. She seems quite handy, this little girl.
She's a bit of a mechanic savant, isn't she?
Yeah, she seems to just know how things work.
She's sort of tinkering around with a truck, isn't she? And stuff like
that. She heads off to bed, and Bo heads outside. She puts the record player on. Now she's got it working, and she heads outside for a smoke. And this is the first point where we see superpowers used, I guess, in this.
Sure.
She has this cigarette, and all of a sudden it kind of just particleizes.
Yeah, it disintegrates, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it doesn't like just fall away. It kind of floats out in space in front of her.
It's like it turns into ash, but the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not just the end of the cigarette. So it's like it's almost a Star Trek thing, isn't it? Where they like beam up.
Yeah.
You know, this cigarette just dematerializes.
That's a good word. Dematerializes.
And sort of lands in a pile of dust.
Yeah, but
on the
but before it does that, it kind of floats in the air in front of her and like dances around a little bit. And Ruth suddenly says, "Oh, you shouldn't smoke," which makes her Bo jump out of her skin because she's not expecting anybody to be there. And as she says it, the cigarette like regenerates and heads back up into her mouth. It was really nice. It felt really well made, that bit.
Effects. The special effects are used sparingly in this movie.
Very sparingly,
but they're really good.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
And they're very impactful when they are used.
Yeah. Yeah, it just looked really good. It was like a nice little... She calls it later on, she calls it a parlour trick, doesn't she? And that's what it was, but it just looked good. Turns out that Bo is Ruth's mum. We find that out at this point. Ruth, they've obviously departed in some sort of negative way.
Yeah.
You can tell straight away that Bo's not entirely happy with seeing her. She says, you cannot cause Lila any further pain. And Ruth explains that she's 11 months sober now, but being sober has brought the seizures back.
That's right.
And then she says if she leaves, that she just won't survive. So they will catch her, or the seizures will finish her off.
Yeah, and you could really feel the tension.
Yeah. Between
the two of them, and obviously that this is a broken relationship.
Yeah, completely. They both played it really well.
Yeah, it was really well acted, I thought.
Yeah.
And then Ruth asks how Lila is.
Yeah.
And Bo says she's healthy, she's smart, she's nothing like you.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a sick burn.
Sick burn. Maybe we need to make that into a feature. Every week we seem to be coming across a sick burn.
Yeah.
Ruth says she wants to try again after that conversation, and Bo puts her up in the barn, which already seems to be converted into a bedroom anyway.
Yeah, I did think that.
It had a bed and a full bedroom set up in there.
It's just like so in one of the stables for the horses, there's a bed and a lamp and all sorts.
Assume that Bo had always expected her to come back at some point.
Yeah, I guess so.
But she doesn't want her in the house with Lila. And that's the point where Bo says that Lila does have powers. But
yeah, she says they're more like mine than yours.
Yeah, she says they're more like my parlour tricks than your powers, or something like that. Bo heads off to bed at that point, and they are woken up in the night by an earthquake, I guess.
Yep. Yeah.
Again, obviously Bo heads straight outside because he knows that it's going to be Ruth that's caused it. And this is where she introduces Lila to Ruth, and this is where we find out that Ruth is Lila's mum.
She is indeed.
So we've got 3 generations of female members of this family. We cut back to Bill now, and he's still on her trail. He's managed to get hold of her stuff that she'd left in this hotel room. So he's kind of flicking through that, isn't he? Looking at the maps and things like that.
Yeah, and he's met a guy.
Yeah.
So there's now 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't know where he came from.
No, I didn't really get that. It's a really minor criticism. But suddenly he's with a guy, and then it's just a faceless guy. And I was like, oh, is this going to be like the badass that they have to fight later? And it's just a dude. Later on, there's a few more dudes.
The team just keeps getting bigger, doesn't it, without any explanation. If I had one criticism of it, I would say that Bill's character wasn't rounded enough. You never really found out who he was or what he was doing. You knew he was a scientist and he was working for the government.
Yeah, and he gets like one scene later on, doesn't he, where it tries to put a bit of meat on his bones, and he's saying to his boss, "Oh, give me a bit more time. I can talk her in. We don't need to go in all guns blazing, that sort of thing." But he's
a bit one-dimensional.
He's like a caricature out of pick any evil government agent from like E.T. or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing to his character. Considering how well written the three females are, there's nothing to him as a villain.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a major criticism because you get a lot in films where villains are not as rounded as they maybe should be. It stuck out a little bit, like you say, because the female characters are so well written.
Yeah.
The next morning, Lila's out fixing the truck, and Bo calls her in for breakfast, and Ruth's there as well. She reluctantly serves Ruth some breakfast. You can tell that this relationship is not solid between these two in the slightest.
No.
This is where we get a bit more explanation of what the powers are and what they can do, or at least what Bo and Lila can do. They explain that they can only fix things that have been taken apart, but if it's broken, it stays broken. So basically, they can dematerialize things and then rematerialize them.
Sure.
But they can't fix something that's already broken.
Correct.
And at that point, I was thinking, well, that's a really shit superpower. It's like, I can particleize something and then I can put it back, but that's it. But then when they actually use it later on, you actually feel like, oh yeah, you can see the potential of what that power could achieve and what it could do.
So they're sitting at the breakfast table, and Lila shows Ruth what she can do. So she performs this trick with a bowl, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So she dematerializes it and reforms it.
Yeah. Lila asks Ruth at this point if she still has her powers.
Yeah.
And Ruth explains that since the seizures started, her abilities have kind of gone away a little bit.
She says she's never been able to control them.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. It's almost like too much power. And the seizures that take over. And so she's never really had the ability to do what Lila can do, at least. That's a really nice scene as well, when the particles for the bowl are just dancing around.
So she does this trick, and Lila asks Ruth, well, can you see the colours?
Yeah.
And Ruth says, no, I've Bo's told me about them, I've never been able to see them. And Lila sort of describes them as almost like an echo. So after you've used your power, you can see all these vivid paint splash, almost like of colours, can't you? Like I guess like an aura type thing. And as the other two are talking, Lila's sort of gazing off, looking at something that we can't see.
Yeah.
Which I quite like that as well, actually.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really good way of explaining it and what it was that they were doing.
Yeah.
Cut back to, well, we're with a cop now. This is Ellis. This cop's called. He's like the main cop now for the rest of the film.
Yeah, he's the town sheriff.
Yeah. He's on the case of Bill's car. He's found it on the side of the road. And he's trying to like track down or follow the trail, shall we say?
Yeah.
Cut back to Bo and Ruth, and Bo's almost trying to train Ruth again.
Yeah, so we're straight in now with some Luke Skywalker and Yoda shit.
Yeah,
basically.
very much so.
It's Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. So she's trying to levitate a bucket or something.
Yeah.
It was something like that, out in the backyard anyway.
So it's Bo trying to teach Ruth how to control whatever powers it is that she's got.
Yeah. Cut from there to Bo reading a passage from a book. It turns out this book is almost like a diary that's been passed.
It's a hand-me-down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been passed down through generations of this family. Of all the females in this family have this power, and they've kind of written this book as they've gone. So all these generations of women have written, and she's reading a segment from her great grandma's entry.
That's right, yeah.
And which is where we find out that all the women in the family can do it. Then suddenly a window breaks on its own.
This is where they're doing a bit more of the Jedi.
Yeah, they
stuff.
go back out. Yeah,
and it's not clear on who's smashed it.
Yeah,
but yeah, all this mind bullets and stuff causes one of the windows to blow out in the farmhouse.
Upstairs window as well, so it's not even like close to where they were doing the Jedi bullshit. Lila and Ruth go up to investigate to see what's going on, to clean up a little bit as well. And while they're doing that, Lila asks if there are any others with their powers. And Ruth says that she doesn't think so, but she was told a story when she was younger of like an imaginary person that Bo had made up to make her feel better.
So she'd been told this story about a woman in Europe who was stronger than any of them. Yeah. But then she said, no, it's just us, it's just our family.
Yeah, it was made up, it wasn't real.
It's everything that's in that book, that's the only thing that's real,
Ruth says to Lila, try and fix the window. And Lila's like, well, that's not going to work. The power doesn't work like that. And Ruth says, well, there's not really any harm in trying. And
she basically, her role is very much to challenge.
She's pushing the boundaries of these powers all the time. And
the conceptions of what they can do, because Ruth can't control it, but she's obviously very powerful in some way.
Yeah.
And she's sort of a bit of voice of the audience stuff, I suppose. She's not spent that time with Bo having this drummed into her, so she's like, well, let's just try it. How do we know what we can't do?
Yeah.
And that was really interesting as well.
Agreed. And it very nearly works. Lila gets the panel almost back together, but then it just crumbles and smashes in front of their eyes. Go back to Cop Ellis. He's now with the gas station. He's basically just following the trail that Bill and Ruth did earlier on, isn't he? He's gonna,
sure.
He's gonna get to the farmhouse eventually. Bo has a bit of a go at Ruth about the window. She kind of gets the blame for it a little bit, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And they decide that her and Lila need to go off and get some supplies, because they're going to need extra water if there's a third mouth in the house.
Yeah, and Lila's been badgering her to get some more parts to fix this truck.
Yeah, she wants some car parts. The cop then, the sheriff heads to the bar where Lila did the night's work, and he's asking some questions in there as well. So he's getting closer all the time. But that's all they're telling us at this point. We know he's going to turn up at some point. While they're in the store, Bo and Lila walks straight into Bill.
Yeah,
literally bumps into, like, walks around the corner, and she walks straight into him. Obviously, Lila has a very strong resemblance to Ruth, and that gets Bill's. It kind of pricks his ears up a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Lila is, when we get back, Ruth's now obviously in the house on her own, and she's sitting on the roof.
Yeah, just one bit to add before that. So whilst the other two are out getting supplies, the phone rings in the farmhouse.
Yeah.
And Ruth doesn't pick it up, and it goes to answer phone, and no one leaves a message. So this is just adding to, hang on, the net's closing in here.
Yeah.
They're not as safe as maybe they think they are.
Yeah. Yeah, and when we get back to Ruth, she's sitting on the roof of the farmhouse, and she's...
Ruth on the roof.
I hadn't put that together. Well done. And she's trying to do what Lila did earlier. She got the same bowl, hasn't she?
Yes.
And she's trying to make it levitate, and she's concentrating, but it doesn't work. But behind her, you see this like cloud form in the sky.
Yeah.
And she doesn't notice it. She doesn't even know it's there. And then it suddenly breaks open, and it rains a little bit.
Yeah.
And just falls onto the ground in the farmhouse garden. But she doesn't spot it. She has no idea that she's done it.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done.
Really well done.
At this point, I was like, I'm really interested to see how this pulls together now.
I agreed. I was all in at this point. This film never felt like it was too long, and it never felt boring. It was an interesting story all the way through, I thought. Lila and Stitch. Lila and Bo come back, and Lila has got some like particle dust in her pockets, which she spreads out on her bedroom floor, and then they reform into tools that she needed for the truck. So she's a little thief. She's stolen them, basically. She's particleized them in the shop and reformed them when she's got home.
Cunning.
Sorry?
Cunning.
Oh, just shouted a word. Lila goes out to try and fix the truck again, and she tells Ruth that she's fixing it because she wants to leave. She thinks that she's like a superhero, and she wants to go off and use her powers for good.
She's convinced she wants to look for others as well.
Yeah, she's out there trying to make sense of it all. I guess she's only young. She's what, 12, 13?
If that, I'd say more 10, 11.
Yeah, I'll take your expert opinion on that.
Okay.
Ruth says that we're not superheroes. We're just trying to get by. We're living with this. There's nothing else out there. Just don't get your hopes up too high. She tells they have a bit of a nostalgia moment, don't they? About Ruth hands down some of her old records, and
she does, yeah,
and things that she used to do.
Got a pretty good taste in music.
Things that she used to do when she was a kid. And this is when Ellis, the sheriff, turns up. He turns up to talk to Bo. That he kind of they have this like signal, don't they, between the two of them?
Yeah.
And Bo sees it. Who set it off? Ellis.
No. So the signal was him ringing the. That's why I mentioned the phone call.
The signal. So yeah, okay.
So he left the voiceless answer phone message. So Bo goes and plays it, and she counts along with it.
Yeah.
And she then meets him later that night and says, "Well, what what do you need to see me for?
Why?
We haven't used our signal in years and years.
Yeah, because they meet at the high school bleachers, don't they? So
yeah,
you can tell when they used to use it. She tells him that Ruth's back, and he said he had a feeling that she was because things were changing. And he tells her about the abandoned car on the side of the road, which freaks Bo out completely because she didn't want Lila in any danger. And if Ruth's being chased by somebody, then Lila's obviously in danger. And she asks Ruth to leave. Well, she tells Ruth to leave, basically, doesn't she?
Yeah, she said, "How dare you bring danger to our house?"
Yeah. Ruth's like, "No, I'm not going." She flatly refuses to leave. This is the point then where we meet Bill and his boss. Well, we've met Bill before. We meet Bill's boss because this is the scene you mentioned earlier where he's like,
"Oh yeah, yeah."
Reporting to his boss that he needs a bit more time. The boss wants to go in all guns blazing and take her out, but he says he needs more time to study her.
Yeah, he says we found a girl in a supermarket. She looks just like her. Yeah. We're really close.
Yeah, but his boss says that they are getting impatient. So there's obviously a higher up again that are after this girl. And Bill says, "Look, this girl is all powerful. She can move the tectonic plates on the earth. This is the power that she needs studying."
Sure, it's all very strange things at this point, isn't it? Get her back to the lab and
he needs
see
to
what
study.
makes her tick.
He's desperate to study her and how she has the amount of power that she has. We find out at this point then that Ellis, who is the sheriff, is Ruth's dad.
Yeah, because he rolls up to the farmhouse.
Yeah, he eventually now gets to the farmhouse.
And Ruth knows.
Yeah.
So it's revealed to Lila.
Yeah, Lila didn't.
Suddenly had a lot to deal with in the last couple of days.
She's got a new mum and a new granddad.
Yeah, and the sheriff says, "Look, basically says the bad guys are in town.
Yeah.
They sooner or later they're gonna rock up here. It's just a matter of time.
You need to get out of here." That's basically what he said. She does, but does she at this point? No, Lila gets the truck going, doesn't she? First.
Yeah.
And Bo manages to find the tools. This all happens at the same sort of time. Bo finds the tools that she'd used.
Yeah, so she busts her about.
She sends her off to her house, and that's when Ellis shows up. Ruth kind of admits at this point to Lila that she was a drug addict, and that she's trying to explain why she abandoned her, isn't she?
Yeah. So Lila wants to go with her, and Ruth's like, "Look, I'm a drug addict. I don't know who your father is because I was so strung out."
Yeah. This man's your granddad.
Yeah. There's nothing out there. She says, "It's a horrible world out there.
Yeah.
You're safe here.
Stay here."
And she takes the truck and
legs it.
She's gone.
Yeah, she leaves them all there to their own devices. She doesn't get very far down the road though before the truck runs out of gas.
Rookie error.
Yeah, very much so. So you see her kind of walking along this like dirt track with a jerry can to go and get some fuel, but that's kind of interspersed with flashbacks at the same time.
Yeah.
So she's kind of in a room with baby Lila, isn't she?
Yes, it's a hovel basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
And she's sort of playing with baby Lila on a bed.
On a bed, yeah, they're both lying on a bed. As she's filling up the jerry can, her hand starts to shake again.
Yeah.
So she knows that one of these seizures is coming on. So she runs off into the desert. She leaves the petrol flowing and everything. But in the flashback, Ruth is also shaking. So there's a seizure about to happen there as well. I thought that was nice how they mirrored that.
Yeah, it was.
And suddenly that room where flashback Ruth is filled with water.
Yeah, so it's like up to the level of the bed.
Yeah,
almost.
and Lila's gone. She's not on the bed anymore. So Ruth dives in and tries to find her under the water. And she pulls her out from under the water.
Yeah, in this bedroom.
Yeah. And they're both crying. Obviously, the baby's crying. She's crying, and they have a big hug. Modern day Ruth wakes up, and it's raining.
There's a few drops around her.
A few little drops spotting. The clouds have formed.
Am I right in reading this that she'd kind of blocked this memory?
Yeah, I think so.
Of sort of nearly drowning her own child.
Yeah, I think that's what had caused all this to start in the first place.
And that had, because she was strung out.
Yeah.
And now this was her sort of moment of clarity.
Yeah, redemption. This is why she'd abandoned Lila with Bo, because she knew that she couldn't keep her safe. The sky's now full of clouds, and suddenly Ruth sees all the colours in the world.
Man, this was beautiful.
It really was. It looked amazing. Like there was like really vivid colours just flying all around her, wasn't there, for ages?
So this was a great decision by the filmmakers here. So although we've only mentioned it once, it's mentioned quite a few times in the film about being able to see these colours when you use your powers. And we've never seen it as the audience because we're seeing it all through Ruth's eyes.
Yeah.
And the fact that they held it back until this point, and suddenly she's in control of her powers, and the whole sky lights up.
Yeah.
And we're in this.
It's almost like being in a kaleidoscope, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And we're in this sort of flat desert landscape. There's, a big sky. The sky's huge.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's just an absolute kaleidoscope. It looks amazing.
It does, and the whole film up to this point is a really muted colour palette as well. So it really stands out when you do see the colours. Even the truck was like grey. There's hardly any colour in this film, and then suddenly it's like a feast for the eyes of all this colour. It looked amazing. You're right, it did. It looked incredible.
And Ruth gets back in the truck.
Yeah, she's kind of running back to the truck whilst all this is going on, isn't she? And the colours are flying past her.
And then she can still see him as she's driving.
Yeah.
Driving back. And she's going back to the house.
Yeah, she heads back to Bo and Lila's house. But when she gets there, it's being trashed. Neither the Bo or Lila are there. Where does she head next? Does she go off?
She goes to the sheriff's house.
Yeah, I was going to say she heads to the sheriff's house. And this is where he tells her that the men have taken Lila.
Yeah.
Bo has gone out to try and sort it out. But the men came and took Lila away because she used her abilities. Bo shows up at this point, just bursts in the door. And there's a dog barking outside. Can you hear it?
I can, yeah. Who's got a dog near you?
Next door but one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with it.
You always get all the wildlife around.
I know. There was a kid having a birthday party 3 doors down from me tonight.
Really?
Like they had a bouncy castle.
Shit.
Yeah.
Chop them in.
I couldn't get on when I got home from work tonight. I couldn't get on my drive because I've got the two drop curbs. They'd parked over both of them, so I literally couldn't get in my house.
That's bad. That is. It's my daughter's birthday on Monday, and I can't have a party.
Of course you can't.
Why should those fuckers do that?
Absolutely.
No bed.
I couldn't see. I don't know how many was there. It might have just been there. They've got 2 kids themselves, but I don't think it was just the 2 kids on the bouncy castle. It was quite loud. Anyway, back to the film. She tells Bo that she saw the colours and that she's now in control. Finally, she's in control of this, and she has managed to stop her seizure.
She says, "I'm not scared.
Yeah,
I'm not scared anymore."
And she explains that she was scared of the powers because they broke the pipes in the walls, and that's obviously when the water nearly drowned Lila.
Yeah,
the powers did that during that seizure. But now she's in control of it. She's not scared anymore, and that she managed to stop that seizure that was going on in the desert mid-seizure, I guess.
Sure.
Bo explains that she's not only scared of Ruth's ability, she's also scared of her own, because she has the potential, I think, is what she was getting at, to be as powerful as Ruth is. She just can control it.
Yeah, she's never let it
get on top of
go.
Her.
Yeah.
Cut to Lila. She's in a prison cell on her own. And Ruth arrives in the... I don't know why I said Ruth like that. Ruth arrives in the town, and she gets out of her truck, and these clouds start to form around her. And suddenly it starts raining. So she can control that now. And then...
we're not talking a slight shower.
It was to start with, and then suddenly it literally started shitting it down. It's
bouncing off the pavements and the road.
Bill and all his goons come out because they've not seen rain for 8 years. And Bo and the sheriff turn up as well at this point. So this is like the final showdown. Yep. They all point their guns at Bo. Because Bo agrees to go on she's like, leave the kids here. I'm the most powerful one. Take me.
Yeah, she's like, I know
I know it better than they do. I can control
basically.
It better than they can.
Yeah.
Take me. And she makes their guns disintegrate. They've all got their guns pointed at her. I really like that. I thought,
and they're just, because this was as realistic as you get for a superhero film.
Yeah.
But these guys just have all their weapons disintegrated, and they're just agog.
Yeah, they cannot believe what they've just seen.
It's not rained for 8 years. It's pouring it down with rain. This woman's disintegrated their weapons.
Yeah.
And no one says anything to her. They're just
like open mouth. Even Bill was just like open mouth staring at her.
It was good, no word acting, wasn't
completely. It really was. And that's the point where I thought, actually, maybe these powers are more impressive than I thought they were. Lila manages to disintegrate the door to the cell.
Oh, I thought Bo did it. Well, it doesn't really matter.
No, because Lila was concentrating on it. She was like looking at the peephole, wasn't she? And it kept like sealing up. So I'm pretty sure she did it.
Maybe she did.
Yeah.
Bo did the outside one. Anyway,
Yeah. Bo definitely did the outside one. So Lila just appears at this door. Bo basically says to her, "You need to go with Ruth. Go with your mum." And she does. She gets in the truck and they drive off it together.
I nearly teared up when she was like, "Are you not coming with us?"
Yeah.
It's like, no, I've got to stay.
I've got to stay here and sort this shit out. Bo walks back into the sheriff's office, which is where all this is kicking off. And she remakes the door behind herself.
Yeah.
And so she leaves Bill and all the guys outside.
It's like, fuck you guys. You can open your own doors.
Yeah. Just before Lila went off with Ruth, Bo gave her like a note. I think it was in some sort of locket thing, wasn't it? But
I think so.
And Lila gives it to Ruth as Ruth's driving. And on the note it says, "Simona is real. There are others. Find them. Go take apart the sky." And that's the end of the film.
Yeah.
What did you think?
This was my favourite thing we've seen this season.
I couldn't agree more. It might even be my favourite thing we've seen for a very long time.
Yeah, quite possibly. I was just, I was all in all the way through.
Me too. It was captivating from start to finish. It was a really interesting story.
It was part superhero film, part Western, but it felt a bit different because we've seen how many like superhero origin films have you seen over the years?
Loads.
But we were really learning along with Ruth.
Yeah.
And I just thought it worked really well playing it like that.
Agreed.
We were really on her shoulder throughout the whole film as an audience.
Yeah.
And it was really well acted. Like I say, I thought the effects were great, used sparingly, and that ultimately paid off at the end. And I could really see how this would work as an episodic.
Yeah, definitely. That
series. Either you carry on and they're set off to go into the world whilst being chased by any number of government agencies. I really enjoyed it.
I agree. I'd like to see them carry it on. I don't know if this film's popular enough to carry it on. I think you'd probably have to retell the story.
Yeah.
You could literally start from there and have Bo captive and the other two on the run. That's a great place to start a TV show, but I feel like that story needs telling. I feel like people need to see it. People should watch it anyway because it's a brilliant film.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's like I say, it is. I don't want to say slow because that sounds bad, but it's deliberate.
Yeah.
It's
not a superhero film.
It's not, like I say.
Yeah, it's not. You don't go in expecting like a Marvel superhero film because that's not what you're getting. Have you seen Brightburn?
No, not yet.
Brightburn's a film that came out early part of last year. I think it's fucking wonderful. It was very close to my film of the year last year. It got beaten at the last minute. But it's a very similar sort of story to that. Brightburn's a retelling of the Superman origin story, but if the kid had gone bad rather than good.
Yeah. And
it's a very similar vibe to this. It's very gritty, very earthy, very dark. It's a bit more dark than this. And there's very much a similarity between those two films. It really reminded me of that all the way through. Check out Brightburn if you've not seen it for definite. But yeah, I think this film's wonderful. I think it's one of the best films we've ever seen. I think it competes.
Really, that high?
I think it competes in any of the stream tables. I really do. Yeah. It's the best thing we've seen since Hush, which was episode.
Yeah, I'm not
6.
sure I'd quite go that high. I think I'd put it up there as sort of in the conversation with the top end of last season. Well, we're getting into particulars there, aren't we?
We're not going to compete them against other stream tables. That's not what we're all about. But
it's great. It had in parts it had a bit of a throwback feel to it as well. So
yeah,
there was parts of this that felt quite Spielbergy, like a bit of E.T.
Yeah,
Close Encounters. Like
those
sort of
80s Spielberg type films.
Yeah,
that's a great show.
Because it's that whole searching for your family type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And like I say, the sort of the setting out in the desert as well. It was like part Western, part superhero. And the performances were excellent.
Yeah, they were.
I really enjoyed it. It was a real pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it was definitely a hidden gem. 100%. It's a diamond.
Good,
yeah.
I wasn't sure
if you would, to be honest. I was really high on it. I wasn't sure how. I thought we'd maybe have an argument on it, but obviously not. We both just know good films when we see them, obviously. Have we got a trivia question?
Yeah, but I've only got one. So
okay, do you want to go first then?
I can do.
I've got 2, so it makes sense if you go first.
Yeah, fine. What's the score? Can you remember? Because we didn't do it last week. I think I'm
you're
1 up.
3-2 up, I
Is
think.
it 4-3?
Is it 4-3 or 3-2?
I think it's 4-3.
Okay, go with that.
Okay, mine's dead simple.
Okay.
What is the name of the town that this is all set in and around?
Oh, does it begin with a C?
It does not.
Does it begin with a G?
It does.
Gah. It's there. It's on the tip of my tongue. Gah, it's not. No, it's not there. Greensburg.
No. It's
I can see it on the map when she's pointed at it on the map, and I cannot think what it was.
It's on a few stickers in the bathrooms that she goes to as well. It's no, you're not going to get it.
I'm not going to get it.
It's Garrison.
Oh, that's devastating. I shouldn't have known that. That's really bad. Oh, I've got 2, and I don't know which one to pick now. I think you're going to know one of them, but I don't.
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm feeling too confident myself. But
I think you'll know one of them, but I don't know. I'm going to go with the one I think you'll know just to see if you know it. In the mid part of this film, Ruth's giving Lila some history lessons on her life, and she gives her an LP from a band, like a record from a band. Do you know the name of the band?
Punk band.
Yeah. She also plays one of their songs in the jukebox in the bar when she's cleaning the bar. She tells them that
I've got the wrong band in my head. I've got a band in my head, and I know it's not the right one.
Tells them that they were formed when the lead singer went to see the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
They're a real band as well.
Yeah, I know. I'm having a total blank. I've got the wrong band stuck in my head.
Who have you got stuck in your head?
Stiff Little Fingers.
Yeah, it's not that.
No.
Any ideas?
No, I can't remember. No.
X-Ray Specs.
That's it.
Do you want?
Yeah, I should have known that.
Do you want my other question?
Yeah, go on.
What was the name of that motel at the start? With the.
Oh no idea.
Okay, cool. So you would have been alright then. It was the Downtown Inn.
Okay.
Cool. I guess we need to talk about the stream table, but I think it's going to be an easy conversation to have.
Yeah.
Where does this one go in the stream table, Nick?
This is my favourite thing we've seen in season 3.
Yeah, agreed.
Put her up at the top.
Straight in at number 1. I couldn't agree more. It's definitely better than Bad Day for the Cut. Like we said earlier, a lot of the films we've seen this year have been very similar. Not similar, but similar sort of level. And this one is head and shoulders above them. Head and shoulders above them. I stand by the fact I think it'd compete in season 2. I don't think it's better than Hush, but it would compete. And I think it'd compete in season 1 as well.
Yeah, I feel much more confident now. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, straight in at number 1 on the season 3 stream table is Fast Colour. Go and check it out, please. It's a wonderful film. It's really good, and we don't say that very often. And we don't get to see good films very often. So if you know if we're saying
it's not down to us, is it?
You know if we're saying it that we mean it. So yeah, go and check it out.
It's all down to the randomizer.
Speaking of which, shall I pick next week's film?
Yes, please.
We're not using the randomizer this week, Nick.
What?
One of our Patreons has played his wild card.
Oh. This always makes me nervous.
You don't sound excited by this.
No, I'm excited. It's about a 50-50 record, isn't it? So
yeah, Jordan did all right last season, I think. This is Jordan's wild card, by the way. Did he do all right last year? I can't even remember what he had.
What did he give us last time? He gave us the French zombie.
Oh yeah,
The Night
what's it
Eats
called?
the World.
The Night Eats the World came 10th in the stream table, so not bad. That's not a bad start. It's a good film. It's just there was better films in the season 2 than that one. It was third highest wild card played in the season 2. Yeah, he messaged me in the week and he said he wanted to play his wild card this week. So this week he has picked a film called I Kill Giants.
I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's relatively new. It was new to Netflix. It's been on our list for a little while. Honestly, just from the title alone, it was going to be my wild card for this season. I don't know anything about it at all. I just like the title. He picked me to the post. I'm going to have to pick another one. You haven't played yours yet this year, have you?
No, got it in my back pocket.
Me too. So this will be the second wild card of the season, the second Patreon that's played it. Do you want to know what I Kill Giants is about?
Yes, please.
Let me find it, bear with. It says, 12-year-old Barbara Forson flees from reality, living in the imaginary world of fantasy and magic, where she fights with giants. Her family does not understand her, peers do not like her, and she irritates teachers, and only recently moved here. What?
I mean,
that doesn't make any sense. I'm just going to leave it
Get a better written synopsis.
and only recently moved here Sophia, her same age, trying to make friends. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to leave it before that sentence. 12-year-old Barbara Forson flees from reality, living in an imaginary world of fantasy and magic, where she fights with giants. Her family do not understand her, peers do not like her, and she irritates teachers.
Sounds like you at school.
It does very much so. Guess what this is rated at on IMDb, Nate?
6.
6.2.
Okay.
Zoe Saldana's in it.
All right. Okay.
Seems to be quite a lot of female actresses. Oh no! Guess who's in it?
Robbie Amell.
No, Noel Clark.
Amazing.
That'll be his third time on the stream table. Second time in this season.
Yeah.
Botsker award-winning Noel Clark.
He's not really got very good associations with our show.
He hasn't. No.
I hope I never meet him.
No,
I'm sure he's a great guy, but I just mean it would be really embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't think he'd like us very much.
I'd feel embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't think he'd like us very much. Yeah. So he's quite a long way down on the cast list, so I don't think he's like highly billed. So yeah, go out and watch I Kill Giants, and we'll come back next week and we'll talk to you about it.
Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.